Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. We give thanks to Almighty Allah and we welcome each and every one of us to this training on Islamic cooperative management. I'm Dr. Abdullahi Salih Shola. Currently, I'm an associate professor and the Dean, Faculty of Law, International Open University in the Gambia. So I'm reaching out to you right now from the Gambia. And we also have in our midst our Vice President, Barrister Yusuf Zubair, who is also one of our facilitators. So we are glad to have you. This is the 7th batch of Tawakkul training on cooperative management. So Tawakkul Institute of Corporate and Cooperative Studies is the first private institution in Nigeria to be licensed and registered to offer trainings in Islamic cooperative studies and all the like. And like we have said, this is the 7th batch. Incidentally, the last training we did was in the year 2023. That was August. And the reason was that we realized that the cost of putting up a training was no longer favorable. And so many people were very much expressing concern that perhaps the fees that we had them to pay then was too much and all that, and we couldn't proceed on that. But this year, we had a specific request from one cooperative society requesting us to organize a training for them. But they were requesting that we should organize for 7 of their executives, and we realized that by cost implication, that will not be very well okay with us. So we had to make it public. Along the way, we initially wanted to hold this meeting, training in October, but the adverts did not go around very well, so we did not get a good response. And also the cooperative that requested also declined to proceed to even provide the 7 trainings that they initially informed us that they will be providing. So we had to just shift the training till now. And we thank Allah that the advertisement went around and here we are. And I want to assure you that by the end of this training, all of us should be able to see a better picture of Islamic cooperative, different from the way many people have been looking at it. Because when we ask people what is Islamic cooperative, they will tell you the definition of Islamic cooperative to them is an organization where you join and you begin to make your savings, and after 6 months, you are eligible to loan 2 times of what you have saved or 3 times of what you have saved. That is the erroneous perception that people have about Islamic cooperative. But we want to change our perspective to see and understand that Islamic cooperative is a business enterprise which requires commitment and requires expertise, requires knowledge. And this is the major objective of this training. So at the end of this training, we expect that the participant should be able to see a better aspect of Islamic cooperative practice and be much more motivated, even those who are already in the cooperative system, to begin to rethink how they are operating their cooperative society. And for those who are not yet there, thinking of whether I can go into cooperative practice or not, you should be able to now see the prospect in you are going into Islamic cooperative. So this is the focus of our training here, and we believe that all of us are going to benefit immensely. So we want to thank you most sincerely. So before I proceed, let me invite the Vice President to make his remark, and then I will introduce the facilitator to us, and then we proceed. Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Vice President, please. You can unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So I welcome everybody to this training, and it is our hope that each and every one of us who have one or two things to take home and a benefit for
I think the Vice President, the network on your side there is not so stable.
Training.
So can we just like you down for now? Why is that? Your network is not stable. We cannot hear you clearly. Can you hear me, please? Can we just step you down, and later we can call you?
It's always in the common knowledge of everybody that
okay, I think we have lost his network there. Okay, let me proceed. Inshallah, for this training, we are going to have 3 facilitators. As you can see from the slide, which we shared, there are 3 of us who are going to be facilitating this training for us. The first person is Dr. Muhammad Murtala Abdurrahman, who is a lawyer by profession and is an Islamic finance professional with specialization in Islamic Sharia compliance and auditing. So he has worked with major Islamic banks or the non-interest banks in Nigeria. He has been with, he started with Jaiz Bank, and he was there for almost a decade. After that, he moved to Sun Trust, and currently he is with the Alternative Bank as their Sharia compliance and auditor. So he will be taking us the 5th modules on Sharia compliance and risk, which is his area, and is going to share with us practical analysis on how we do this also in the Islamic Cooperative. Then we have Barrister Yusuf Zubair, who was the one trying to talk to us. He's the Vice President of our Tawakkul Cooperative and also the vice chairman of the Tawakkul Institute. So he's going to take us module 2, where he's going to share with us practical experience as well on how to run an Islamic cooperative, because he has been in the field and is the engine room of our Tawakkul cooperative. And I'm going to be your third facilitator. Like I said, my name is Abdullahi Salih Shola, and I'm a specialist in Islamic social finance, which comprises of Islamic cooperative. And I'm going to share an insight with you, both practically and theoretically, on Module 1, 3, and 4, inshallah. So I'm going to start with Module 1, where we are going to focus on the general introduction to principles, practice, and management of Islamic cooperative system. And in this module, because of the importance of the module and for the fact that we want to ensure that we cover all the necessary areas, so we have divided the module into 2. We are going to have part 1 and part 2, as you can see. Under the part 1, we are going to talk about the general principles. What are the principles that we need to understand in regards to the running of an Islamic cooperative? And under module 2, part 2 of module 1, I'm going to talk about the governance, membership, and administration structuring models for Islamic cooperative. So as a matter of fact, the material that I've just shared with you only cover module 1, that is part 1 and 2. And you could see that we have almost 50 slides to deal with this morning. So after that, the vice president, either today or tomorrow, is going to take over and handle with you module 2. So, and on Sunday, we are going to conclude remaining modules together with the aspect of risk management. So before we proceed, I would like to ask this question. What exactly do we perceive? What is our understanding of an Islamic cooperative? And why Islamic cooperative are different from the contemporary, the common cooperative system? So I would like us to share our insights on this before I proceed, so that we are going to see whatever view we express, how they are correct or they are not correct in the course of our engagement this morning. So please, if you want to speak, you can just indicate by raising your hand through there's a emoji there by which you can raise up your hand, please. I hope we know how to use the emoji. You can see where they say react, or where is it indicated? Okay, brother Kinde, please unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
My name is Mr. Hussein Uyewale Kende. So I'm happy to be participant of this August program. What I understand about Islamic cooperative system is that it is different from the conventional cooperative in the sense that it allows the cooperators to have the full profits of the business, and it's reduced the it is interest free, unlike the conventional cooperative whereby you have to add an amount of interest with the main loan that has been taken when you are returning the loan, so you have to pay the interest. But Islamic cooperative does not requires paying interest, which is the main reason why it is established and it is different from the conventional one. Actually, it has been said that there are some charges, probably registration fee and some one or two charges that may be paid for. But it is unlike the conventional one whereby there is a level of percentage according to the amount of loan that has been taken. But in terms of Islamic cooperative, there is only a particular charges that is required, irrespective of how much loan one is taking. It is not based on percentage, or it's not based on the amount of loan that's to be taken. So
Okay. Thank you
that
very
is,
much. Okay.
yes, sir.
I've gotten some points there. Thank you.
Yes.
Can we have Sister Rodia?
Assalamu alaikum. Aside from the meaning of cooperative that we have for both conventional, from my own point of view, I want to believe adding the word Islamic cooperative means that we're using the etiquettes of Islamic in terms of Islamic finance, in terms of our tools. So if cooperative people are coming together for different things, maybe to do business together or to grow their wealth together. But when it becomes Islamic cooperative, it means that they're going to be using the tools of Islamic finance to operate. And the tools varies, and I want to believe those are some of the tools, again, we want to learn for the next 3 days, Use tools of Musharaka,
Yeah,
Mudaraba,
thank you very much.
and so
I
forth.
think I've gotten a point that they use tools of Islamic finance. So we are going to see how all this work out. Let me call one person more before we go. Techno B7, we will have loved that we try to rename ourselves so that we will not be calling Techno, whereas we meant to call a brother. Techno B F7, please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Adewale Isiaka. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I'm also grateful to be on this platform today, to be part of people who intend to be enriched about one or two things so that we can grow the cooperative in terms of Islamic together. My understanding of differentiation of Islamic cooperative and conventional cooperative is essentially that Islamic is being run by Sharia, unlike the conventional cooperative. I think that is the major difference that distinguishes it from the conventional. Sharia.
Okay, thank you very much. Please, others, we still be having time to contribute. So let's proceed. Now, the starting point is I want us to begin to have this in our mind, and in approaching Islamic cooperative, we should always see it just like an Islamic finance institution. When somebody wants to establish Islamic finance institution like Islamic Bank and Takaful Islamic Insurance, nobody will be in doubt that they set out to go into a business. they set out to go into a business. But unfortunately, when people want to start an Islamic cooperative, the mind by which they approach it is usually not the mind of going into a business. And that is where the foundation of most of Islamic cooperatives are falling apart. So for that reason, we must begin to understand that Islamic cooperative is just like any other Islamic finance institution, Islamic bank. If we have this in mind, then we will know that we want to do business. Because some people will say the Islamic cooperative is just to assist ourselves, to get loan and to do this, to do that. Not that. It's about business by which we want to make profit, we want to generate income. So if that is the case, let's now proceed to how we are going to do this. So in the part 1 of our module, as you can see, we are going to deal with the general principle of Islamic cooperative. And under this, we are going to cover the concept of a cooperative itself. And for us to understand the idea of an Islamic cooperative, then we are going to engage with a lot of issues in Islamic cooperative in terms of its law and practices, which are what make people not to run Islamic cooperative properly. They run it in violation of the law. They run it in violation of the Sharia principles, and they run it in violation of the international standard of practice. So these are the 3 areas of weaknesses where people fail to understand how they should run an Islamic cooperative properly. Let me repeat again. People fail in the aspect of law. When we talk of law, that is even the law of the land like Nigeria, the law of cooperatives itself. People run Islamic cooperative contrary to the requirement of the law. We are going to see this. They run it. Somebody has said what differentiates Islamic cooperative is that we expect that they should run their activities in accordance with the principle of Sharia. But unfortunately, most Islamic cooperatives in Nigeria are run in violation of the principles of Sharia. Then thirdly, they are run in violation of the international standard practices. So in all of these 3 areas, if you are failing in any one of them, definitely you are not going to have the full fruit and benefit of having an Islamic cooperative. So we are going to identify those issues, and we will talk about the imperative reforms in the law and practices. That is, what are the changes we have to make if we really want to run an Islamic cooperative effectively? I am very glad and I feel fulfilled that at Tawakkul Institute, we have really achieved a lot, because I can tell you that after attending this training, I'm so glad that many cooperatives, they have changed their approach of doing things. In fact, one of the cooperatives, which they still continue, because after the training, they continue to consult us and to advise them. You will not imagine that how will you feel that an Islamic cooperative, just a cooperative, not a bank, not a microfinance bank, based on the understanding we gave them from this training, they floated an investment where they raised more than 400 million naira, a cooperative for an investment. Right now, that investment is going on there. Somebody saying I should repeat the spirit failures. What happened there? That's what was dragging when listing them. Okay, the 3 failures are failure in the compliance with the law of the land, failure in the compliance with Sharia principles, and failure with the compliance with international standard practice. I hope that is captured now. So, such a cooperative, they have reformed. I also know of another cooperative which is making a lot of impact now, costing of our training. We have a very good brother in Ibadan. There was a time I visited Ibadan and we are able to meet, and was just expressing his joy that after attending the training, and he also attended another training we did on Wakfu, that the two training has made him to understand better how to run an Islamic cooperative and even incorporating Wakfu into the cooperative. So, because in the Tawakkul Institute here, we do series of training in not only in the cooperative, we also do training in the Wakfu, and inshallah in the forthcoming year, we are also going to introduce another training in estate planning and wealth management, where we are going to also make us to understand how we can go into the practices of Islamic inheritance and wasiyah will, as a business, as a service, where we can even be a kind of, pursuing a career there, as well as generating income and contributing to the society. So we are going to look at this, then we are going to go into conclusion. So you can move to the introduction, since we don't have a slide to share. We are not able to share the slide. Now, by way of introduction, let's also correct, because this training, the mission is to correct a lot of erroneous perspective about Islamic cooperative. So one of the errors we want to correct is for us to stop referring to the other cooperative as conventional cooperative. Islamic cooperative is also conventional to us. It is conventional to those who embrace that interest-based cooperative system. So to us, it's not a conventional cooperative, because what is conventional would be what is normal. Whereas that cooperative system involving the charges of interest is abnormal. It is not the conventional. This is the conventional cooperative, the Islamic cooperative. That one is non-Islamic cooperative. It's a non-Islamic cooperative, and if we want to call it in a very stronger language, we will say it is an haram cooperative. Why this one is halal cooperative? So it's a haram cooperative because many Muslims don't know that it is an haram cooperative. We have many Muslims that still embrace that cooperative system. In fact, it's unfortunate that even in some organizations, Muslim leaders like imams of an organization, we even prefer to choose the haram cooperative over the halal cooperative. That is a sad situation. So we should stop calling it conventional cooperative. It's either we call it un-Islamic cooperative, or we call it by the name by which it is, the name by which it actually should be called, which is haram. Because Allah said, with what differentiates it from the Islamic cooperative is matter of riba. And what did Allah say about riba? وَحَلَّ اللَّهُ الْبَيْعَ وَحَرَّمَ الرِّبَى. So any institution dealing with riba is an haram institution. So that cooperative is not conventional. Rather, it is what? It is a haram cooperative. So I hope moving forward, we know the proper name by which we should be calling it. And whoever is engaging in that, so we should just tell them that you are engaging in a haram cooperative. So now, Islamic cooperative is an alternative ethical cooperative. Even in the Islamic finance sector, people also know that the other cooperative is unethical. Because when we say something is ethical, it means you don't just do anything. You are constrained. Like a Muslim is constrained. The Prophet said, Fasna Masita. If you don't have shame, you should do what? Is Alam tested? Fasna Mashit. That if you don't have shame, then you continue to do whatever you like. But a Muslim life has constraint. We have constraint. So for that reason, Islamic cooperative is an ethical cooperative. That's another name. If you want to refer to the other cooperative, you refer to it as a unethical cooperative. We are talking here about an ethical cooperative. So is the alternative to that? So the issue of Dorura is no longer excusable for anybody who still continue to engage in the haram cooperative, because you have an alternative ethical cooperative. And this is part of the mission that all of us should champion to take our people out of haram engagement. So how did the Islamic cooperative emerge in Nigeria? May Allah reward those who champion the cause of Islamic cooperative in Nigeria, our brothers in Ogun State, in Lagos, and other parts of the country, including the Kwara State. So it arose when the Muslim became aware that the other cooperative was haram, and they made a demand for ethical cooperative. In fact, we also have some non-Muslims who are also ethically minded. They know that they don't want to engage in fleeting financial situation. So for this reason, we are going to understand that Islamic cooperative is not just for Muslims. You can have non-Muslim as part of your member, as long as they are ready to comply with the principle, which is the fundamental principle of Sharia that regulates your cooperative. But you cannot engage in services that will be promoting what is un-Islamic, which to them may not mean anything. So we are going to see all of this in the course of our training. So now, the Islamic cooperative emerged because of the demand for Muslim and ethically minded non-Muslim to engage in cooperative activities devoid of unethical practices. What are the unethical practices that the other haram cooperative engage in? One, usury, interest. In fact, remove interest from their cooperative, their activity is dead. They have no other things to do because that is the backbone of their operation. That is why they are always very surprised that how would a kind of what do we call it? How do the Islamic cooperative operate without charging interest? So because they cannot survive without interest, usury is part of their unethical. And in the global financial sector, even they agree, everybody agree that usury is an unethical practice. If not, they will not agree that Islamic finance should be called ethical finance. They know usury, interest is unethical. Then gambling, they engage in gambling. The non-Islamic cooperative, the un-Islamic cooperative, they engage in gambling. They engage in uncertainty, that is gara. They are not bothered. All that concerns them is how to raise money, whether the money will come from good means or not. So as long as the transaction they want to do is not illegal from the general law perspective, they are not bothered about the Sharia. Then they engage in trading in indiscriminate goods. So these are the unethical practices. They can engage in selling alcoholic, pig farming, and any form of trading, regardless of whether it's ethical or not, they are not bothered. That is not the case with an Islamic cooperative. Then we also have concern with the law. One of the concerns that we still have in Nigeria is that there's only enabling law without facilitating law. Because in every state in the country, we don't have any, not even regulations that have been specifically designed to guide Islamic cooperative. So Islamic cooperatives still operate just on the understanding of those who are in charge. But we need this, and for those who may have that opportunity to influence policy, so there is need for us to have, if any law is being amended, we should ensure that we also make a proposal for there to be a chapter therein for the Islamic cooperative. The most updated cooperative law in Nigeria is that of Lagos State, which was repealed and reenacted, I think, 2015 or 2005. So at that time, it would have been good for if there was an awareness that they requested that a chapter is included in that law to focus on non-interest cooperative. So then, like we have said, there is also concern about operation system, contrary to Islamic cooperative standard and structuring. This is a major concern, and this is what we are going to clarify. And also the bylaw that most of our Islamic cooperatives use, they are not in line with Islamic standard, because usually they are imposed on them by the regulatory authority in charge of registration of cooperative society. So this is just the background for us. Then we are moving on to the issue of the concept of a cooperative itself. Are we there? Not this one. Who is sharing this? This is not the one we want to use. Or is it this one? This is not the one I shared. Who is sharing this? Okay, is it VP? This is not the one we want to use. This is an old material. So can you just put it down? So let me also try to share whether this, the issue has now been resolved. The error is still there. So who is this one that's able to share? Is it the VP? Please share the other one, the one I shared on the platform, not this one. Can you hear me? Okay. Please share that one, and that will be helpful. Thank you. So now the concept of a cooperative, just briefly, at different sectors, the cooperative is defined by different, in different way. According to the International Labour Organization, a cooperative is an association of persons. And I want us to take note of all these points and how they apply to Islamic cooperative. It's an association of persons who have voluntarily joined together to achieve a common end. And through the formation of democratically controlled organization, making equitable contribution to the capital required and accepting a fair use share of the risk and benefits of the undertaking in which the members actively participate. One person cannot run an Islamic cooperative. You need a minimum number. Under the law in Nigeria, before you say you want to start a cooperative, you must have not less than 10 persons. So it's an association. And the membership is voluntary. You don't force people to join a cooperative. For instance, if you have an institution, maybe a university or a company where they say they have a cooperative and it's mandatory for every staff to join, that is no longer a cooperative society. A cooperative society is about voluntary membership. You must voluntarily join, as well as having a common end, common goal to achieve. So we are going to lay down and clarify an Islamic cooperative. What are the common goals that you must pursue? If you are not pursuing such goals, then you are not operating as an Islamic cooperative. And formation of a democratically controlled organization. Here they talk of election, but as we are going to see in Islamic cooperative, you don't make use of election, but you make use of shura system. So these are some of the structure that we must understand. Because we still have some Islamic cooperative, when they want to appoint their leadership, they will say they are holding election. That is not the way of Islamic cooperative. Then in the Merriam Webster dictionary, this definition is very, very lovely to me. It defines a cooperative as an enterprise or organization owned by and operated for the benefit of those using its services. It's an enterprise. Your cooperative is not a social body. We understand that most cooperatives, the most cherished engagement to them is their weekly or monthly meeting, where they will just sit down, talk, and people will check their passbook and go. Forgetting that in the modern time, it's not possible to run an cooperative completely online. That is what we are doing at Tawakkul Cooperative. And I'm happy that after the training, so many other cooperatives that attended our training have also shifted to the online. Because what you do in a cooperative does not actually require that you should be meeting physically. Once members understand how to operate their portal, and you have an online for you to disseminate information. Even if you be having a meeting, maybe quarterly or annually, physical meeting, AGM. But for you to not just be wasting your time every month, every week, going to cooperative meeting, that is not the way to go. If you are doing a business, look at a bank. Is it every month that shareholders are meeting? So forgetting that members of cooperative are also shareholders. So if you are operating a cooperative and you have to be meeting every month, shareholder. So does it mean if you have 1,000, 2,000 members, all of them will be converging every month to meet? Is that the way businesses are run? No. Shareholders only meet at AGM, and your members are your shareholders, as you are going to see. But because we approach the cooperative seeing it as a social engagement, where friends who have seen for the last month, they will say, oh, don't worry, we are going to meet at a cooperative. They turn it to a social meeting arena. That is not cooperative. It's a business, a serious business for that matter. So this must change. And if anybody wants to go into cooperative, you must be decided that you are going there. In fact, there should be somebody that will be on full time. And that is why I've said that if you have anybody anticipating retirement, or you have retired, and you are looking for other things to do, cooperative is a very good, lucrative engagement. Go and start your cooperative. As long as people believe in you, you are very transparent, you are trustworthy. Before you know it, people will be coming to you and join your cooperative, and you have your full time to sit with it and run it properly. So the Merriam-Webster has given an insight that cooperative is an enterprise, and I want us to emphasize that. That is very, very important. Then the Economic Commission for Africa, ECA, also defined a cooperative as a legally incorporated body. Legally incorporated body. Each of these definitions, they have their point. Legally incorporated body, without apology to anybody. I know and I'm aware that some Islamic cooperatives, they are operating without registering with the relevant authority. That is illegal. You cannot just be operating cooperative without registering. It's a legally incorporated body with an economic purpose. You see now, with an economic purpose, not social purpose. You don't come together to form a cooperative because you want to be seeing yourself or you want to be doing family meeting every month. It is for economic purpose, common to all members. So the economic purpose may be that you want to empower yourself, you want to generate income, you want to have an investment outlet where every member will have something to be generating income for them. And it's a society of persons and services rather than of capital. Society of persons and services rather than capital. What does this imply? This means that for any cooperative to operate effectively, all members must be actively contributing. Because one of the challenges we have among our Islamic cooperatives is that people just believe that once I'm contributing, that is the end of my contribution. Responsibility. That is not correct. That is why it is upon every Islamic cooperative to be educating their members to know that the services of the cooperative itself, the customer, the client of the cooperative are its members. So members are primarily expected to be patronizing the business of the cooperative, but not sitting down. Some of them will be asking you, when are we going to get dividend? Now ask him, you as a member, what have you contributed? How many services of the cooperative have you assessed? How many businesses of the cooperative have you patronized? And you are asking, when are you going to get dividend? Which dividend are you asking of? If every member does that, they don't contribute, then how do you want to get what do we call it? Dividend. Where will the cooperative make profit? So it is a society of person that is every member will be actively involved in driving the vehicle of the cooperative and services. You must be ready to contribute to the services of the cooperative, actively involved. If the cooperative is selling anything, members should be the first to patronize. The cooperative has a business, members should be the one to patronize. But in most cooperatives, what we have are the sleeping members who just believe that the executive to go and make money for them. A cooperative does not operate like that. So it is a society of persons and services rather than of capital. So when we educate our members, we must always make them to understand that your own cooperative belongs to every member. And part of the primary responsibility of every member is to patronize the business of the cooperative. Right? And it is open to all who may benefit by its activities. So there's open membership in cooperative. You don't restrict anybody. Whether you are Muslim, you are not Muslim, you are civil servant, whatever, except if your cooperative is not an open or public cooperative, where you have a kind of constraint that it belongs to this based on this standard. So these are the simple definition of a cooperative. Now, cooperatives globally are called by different names, especially for those of us who are in academics. If you want to do research on cooperative law, cooperative practices in some other jurisdiction, if you are looking for cooperative, you may not find materials on them because they are not called by the name cooperative society. Like in the Gambia here now, they are called by the name credit and savings society or something like that. So we have different names by which cooperatives are called all over the world. One of them is, in some jurisdiction, they are called mutual bank. If you hear people saying we have established a mutual bank, what it means is what we understand in Nigeria as cooperative society. Then credit union. Yeah, like in the Gambia here, they are called credit union. So in some jurisdiction, they are called credit union. Then they are called thrift and savings association, savings and loan society. So all these names are also part of the various names by which cooperatives are called. Yes. Are we with us? Are we together? Because we now want to move to the Islamic cooperative concept, legal basis, and features. So do we have any clarification on what we have said? Because this is a training, not just a lecture that we just talk and go. If there's anything not clear, so let's know so that we can clarify. Are we good to go? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, please. Yes, I thought Sister Basira want to talk.
No, I said we are with you. We are with you.
Okay. So if anyone can still try to share this slide, I would have loved that we are able to see the slide. It's still giving me error here. I really don't know what is wrong with this thing. Still the same error. Okay. So let's go to the, okay, somebody is helping us out. Oh, please make it full. Go to the slideshow. Click on slideshow. Please click on slideshow and make it a full page. Is it full page now? I believe every one of us can see. Yes. Go to slideshow and make it full page.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Unfortunately, me that is sharing it, I'm leaving now for a meeting. I'm just trying to show. I'm trying to check whether it's possible. I'm supposed to have a meeting with CBN now, please.
And you have already made us to feel good with this sharing.
I know that some other people will be able to do it. I just tested it whether it works.
Okay, maybe another person can try to also share.
Let's continue. I will stop my laptop and let's go.
Okay, so now we can see the slide. I don't know why it's not sharing from my side here. Now let's go to the concept of Islamic cooperative. What is the legal basis and what are its features apart from what we have mentioned? The first thing is Islamic cooperative is called by the name Ta'awun Ijtima'i. That is a kind of social engagement, social support, a kind of social support. Please share the full, you go to slideshow and share from the beginning. You can go to the slide in which we are now. So go to the share slideshow here. Click on slideshow up here. Slideshow.
Please continue. I'll figure it out. Continue, sir.
Okay.
I'll figure it
Now,
out.
so then it's also called Al-Bunuk At-Ta'awuniya. So these are the major name, technical name by which Islamic cooperatives are called in the Islamic terminology. Then when we want to define Islamic cooperative, a working definition, we say Islamic cooperative is a cooperative system premised on the principle of Islamic commercial and social interactions. Islamic commercial transactions and social interactions. For that reason, we say Islamic cooperative is a socio-economic Islamic finance. Is an hybrid of both social and economic. But people now do away with, they close their eyes to the economic purpose of Islamic cooperative and they focus on the social aspect alone. It is social because whatever profit that is made, please go back to the previous slide. Whatever profit that is made is to the benefit of the members. So we say that Islamic cooperative is a cooperative for members that makes profit through members and for members. Because whatever profit that is made is meant for members. You have to go back. We have not reached this stage. Go back. Yes, this is where we are. No. Yes, this is where we are. So this is the definition of Islamic cooperative. And what are the legal basis of Islamic cooperative? We see in Quran 5 verse 2, that's Surah Al-Ma'idah, where Allah says, وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. That you help one another unto righteousness. Help not one another unto sin and transgression. And also we have the Sunnah. We have many hadiths talking about helping each other as Muslim. The Prophet said Allah will be at the service of a man once, as long as he continues to be at the service of his fellow human being. So, and the qiyas, also rational thinking, that Islam is about what is good. Because we say the primary objective of Islamic law is goodness. So anything that is good is presumed to be allowed in Islam. So the question would be that, is Islamic cooperative system good or not? Is it beneficial or not? Since it's beneficial, so by qiyas, we can also understand that it is something that has legal basis. So in the Quran, we can see all that. Then Islamic cooperative has some unique features. It has some negative features which it does away with. You must not have such features in Islamic cooperative. Then it has some positive green features which you may not find in the un-Islamic cooperative. The negative features found in the un-Islamic cooperative which must not be present with Islamic cooperative are these. One, the Islamic cooperative must be free from riba, interest, usury. Riba in Islamic cooperative is not just about giving loan. Some Islamic cooperative, why they will claim that they are not engaging in riba, just simply because when they give loan to members, it does not involve riba. But in their financing activities, they engage in riba. A member approaches you and you claim that you want to make use of murabaha. We are going to talk about this in other modules. So all that you do is to send the money to the member to go and buy whatever he wants, and you are claiming that you are doing murabaha. That is not murabaha, that is riba. So Islamic cooperative must be free completely from riba. It's a no-go area. In fact, no element of riba is allowed. Unlike even garar, uncertainty that some percentage of garar is allowed in some transaction, which may not be inevitable. But in the matter of riba is completely prohibited, and an Islamic cooperative must not engage in it in all its ramifications, not only about giving loan. In your transactions, it must not involve riba. Likewise, maisir, gambling. For instance, God forbid that we say an Islamic cooperative that will say you want to go and invest in Niger Bet or Bet Niger or whatever they are called, simply because you say that is a business where one cannot run into loss. So you don't engage in any transaction that involve gambling. For instance, they said they want to sell a particular property, but they are not sure, or you want to buy land, but they just said, this is the land we want to sell to you. So let's measure the land to be sure. They said, no, there's no need. You have seen the land, everything belongs to you. So you say you buy the land, you are gambling. If anything happens, they claim that what you have bought is not up to what you thought you have bought. So anything that will involve gambling, an Islamic cooperative must avoid it. That is maisir. Then gara, uncertainty, where any transaction will involve uncertainty, the Islamic cooperative must not be involved. Then we have the concept of trading in money as against trading with money. Trading in money means that an Islamic cooperative must not make money a subject of commodity, its own object of transaction. Money must not be a commodity in an Islamic cooperative. When you give loan and you are getting return on the money without any risk attached, just because you give money to somebody and they assure you of fixed return without any underlying assets, then that is trading in money. This is what the un-Islamic cooperative do when they give loan to their member. They give loan and give the money to them as if that money is a commodity which they are selling to the members and for which they have to pay for that, which is interest. An Islamic cooperative must not involve in any trading that will involve trading in money. I have had the opportunity to advise on some transactions which are packaged as if they are Islamic. For instance, somebody will tell you, we are into investment. We sell food stuff, we do this, we do that. Come and invest with us as a cooperative. And they will tell you, okay, all that you need to do is just to make certain amount of money available. And every month, you are going to be getting this amount of money, not less than this. It may be more. They will say you may get more, but you cannot get less than this. Once any fixed return is placed on money, that is trading in money. It's trading in money. You have turned money to commodity, and Islamic cooperative must not be so involved in such transactions. So these are the features that must be avoided, that must not be seen with an Islamic cooperative. Then the feature that must be seen with Islamic cooperative are: one, it must be asset and services based. Whatever income you want to generate, you must have a particular service that you have rendered to members, which justify you charging them for that service. Now, part of the wrong practices among our Islamic cooperative is that they charge their members every month what they call administrative charges. Is that not so? Are we there? Who are those involved in cooperative here? Do you charge your members administrative charges or not?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Was
So
Yes,
now
we do.
that administrative charges that you charge them, which services are you rendering to them to charge administrative charges? Because your charges, any charges you charge members, there must be an underlying service or asset that will generate money for you. Now they will tell us, yes, and how do we want to run Islamic cooperative? We give interest-free loan. So if without administrative charges we cannot run, who asks you to just limit yourself to loan? I always ask people that those who have shares in other companies, people have shares in Jaiz Bank. Does Jaiz Bank request its members, its shareholders, to be paying monthly administrative charges to run Jaiz? So what makes Islamic Cooperative different from Jaiz Bank? All the activities that Jaiz Bank and other banks they engage in is also the same thing that Islamic Cooperative can engage in. So if Jaiz can be declaring profit after tax of trillion naira, billions naira, so what is wrong with our cooperative? But because we are so relaxed and see our cooperative society as a social enterprise, social engagement, not as an enterprise. Cooperative is supposed to generate income for members and not members financing the cooperative to succeed. Rather, the cooperative, our Islamic cooperative, is meant to be the one to generate income for members to succeed and to sustain themselves, not the other way around. So we are going to talk more about this issue of charges when we get there. So I don't want to allow contribution now. So let's proceed. So we must know that for every charges, everything that you make income, there must be an underlying asset that you are transacting or an underlying service that you are rendering to members. Then trading with money. Islamic cooperative is about trading with money. That is, you engage money for business. Yes, we will have questions after we will break. When we get to a stage, I will allow for questions so that we don't continue to break the lectures. So trading with money is what Islamic cooperative must be concerned with. That is, you don't keep your money. Many Islamic cooperatives have turned themselves to money custodian. They only keep money for members for no purpose. They don't engage money in businesses. So your money must be engaged in investment, in transaction. You take risk. But because we see our cooperative as a social association, that's why we don't do that. So next slide. I hope our operator is still with us. Next slide. Okay, the next slide is we also talk about the common identities, the common names by which Islamic cooperatives are called at different jurisdictions. Even in Nigeria, the first one is non-interest cooperative. Who is operating this for us? So please move to the next slide. If you are still with us, or maybe another person can try to share the slide. Okay, thank you. Now, non-interest cooperative. Here, all of us, or let me say most people, are comfortable referring to Islamic cooperative as non-interest cooperative. I, as a person, academically and theoretically, I believe that referring to Islamic cooperative simply as non-interest cooperative is not completely correct. Rather, Islamic cooperative, the one that will regard themselves as non-interest cooperative, will be the cooperative that focuses on giving loans. But because most cooperatives, Islamic cooperatives, they have so positioned themselves that their major services or their major service to the members is giving loan. We can have a non-loan Islamic cooperative. In our own cooperative, Tawakkul, we don't give loan. We are an investment cooperative. We don't give loan to members. We finance. We deal with financing. So it is called non-interest cooperative. But I say your cooperative will be non-interest only if you deal with loan. Like our own cooperative, we pride ourselves, referring to ourselves as a non-loan cooperative. Therefore, we cannot be regarded as non-interest because we don't have any transaction that will involve interest. Then it's also called ethical cooperative and profit and loss cooperative. Then in some jurisdiction, we also have Islamic Investment and Finance Cooperative, IIFC. Then Islamic Mutual Bank, Al-Bunuk At-Ta'awuniya. So it's called Islamic Cooperative. So we can have a cooperative that's involved in all the activities, including giving loan, whatever. So that is understandable. But that does not mean that every Islamic cooperative must be involved in giving loan. Then we also have Islamic cooperative being called zero interest cooperative. And zero, we say it doesn't have value, but if you charge interest, if you say zero interest, it may mean that you engage in transaction involving interest, only that you generated zero interest. So rather than calling it zero interest, we say non-interest cooperative, that it doesn't involve interest at all. And this is one of the challenges which we still have, because if you want to prepare your account, annual accounting, whatever, they will still require that you put interest and you now put zero. So why should interest appear in the accounting reporting of an Islamic cooperative? So we should look into this. Then Sharia compliant cooperative. This is also another name by which Islamic cooperative is called. But I will tell you that not every Islamic cooperative is Sharia compliant. We are going to address this. Next slide. Then we move to the types, models, and goals of Islamic Cooperative. And I want to appeal to all the participants to please pay attention to this area because it's very, very important. Even if you have an already operating cooperative, you need to understand what class of cooperative and which model are you operating. If you don't understand the model that you operate, it's going to be very difficult for you to run your cooperative effectively in a way that it will be beneficial to you. Let's take this point. We expect that our Islamic cooperative should be close to Islamic banks in the country in terms of their engagement, in terms of their revenue generation, income generation, in terms of their profit, in terms of their activities. So how do we do this? Is by we understanding properly how we structure our cooperative. So in the area of the classification, we have loans type cooperative, a cooperative that deals with loan. But this is not the ideal cooperative, Islamic cooperative that we want. Then we have non-loans type, where loan is not their primary focus. If they will give loan, it will be loan in the real sense identified by Islam, that is emergency loan, not the one that has become institutionalized loan and making members to be running in the circle of loan. Some people will say they have been in a cooperative for 10 years. Ask them, what have you been doing in that 10 years? The cooperative has not generated any income for them other than collecting loan and rounding, circulating in that circle. Then we have investment type and financing type, which can be, and we can have a multi-purpose, a cooperative that comprises all of this. Now, if we want to establish a cooperative, we have the model. We are still on that slide, please. We have the model of Musharaka. Musharaka model. The Musharaka model is the foundation of any Islamic cooperative, because we must understand that when members join an Islamic cooperative, they are joining as a partner. This is why it is compulsory that every member of the cooperative must be a shareholder. They must be a shareholder and not optional. We have cooperatives where members are not shareholders. They conclude their membership registration by merely obtaining the form, filling the form, and submitting the form, and they pay the registration fee. That is not enough. There must be shareholding. You are going to see this. Then, Mudoraba model. The Mudoraba model, the person that shares is logging out. So, I hope somebody can assist to share the slide again. So, thank you. Let another person assist to share the slide. So, while we continue. So, the Mudoraba model is the one where the members and the cooperative, if you want to engage in the Mudoraba, it will mean that your members, when the share capital they contribute, there will be an agreement, a contractual agreement between you that you want to have a kind of Mudoraba. We are going to expatiate on this better in another slide. Then we also have the Wakala model. You will see how the contract of Wakala, contract of agency, is involved in Islamic cooperative. Likewise, the Jari and Corridor Hassan model, where we are going to see that members have come together as neighbors and they want to assist each other. So their assistance to each other may involve extending loan to each other. Because there are some scholars who believe that by members of the cooperative having a pre-knowledge that they want to be assisting each other through loans, which is going to bring benefit to each other, that such a loan is considered to be riba. Because there's a concept, Islamic legal magazine, which is stated that kullu qaridin jarra naf'an fahuwa riba. That every corridor, every loan that comes with benefit is considered to be riba. So if members of the cooperative, even the loan that the cooperative are circulating among themselves, there are some scholars who consider it to be riba. And that is why we are trying to encourage cooperative that since there are other options, other services that can be rendered to members, why can't we do away with the issue of loan, which we circulate among our members, which is controversial because to some members, some scholars, they consider it to be a kind of a riba because already there is benefit attached to it. You loan me, I loan you, and we already know that benefit will be coming to each other. So they consider it to be a kind of riba. So we can try to do away with the loan and focus on other services which Islamic cooperative can render to us. Then what are the aims and objectives of Islamic cooperative? One, and this is the most important goal of Islamic cooperative, Sharia compliance goal. You must ask yourself, in terms of the structure of your cooperative, is it Sharia compliant? In terms of your operation, is it Sharia compliant? And in terms of your bylaw, because I have had the privilege of consulting to some cooperative, and we realized that the bylaw which some cooperatives even operate with, they are not Sharia compliant. So you must also ensure that your bylaw is Sharia compliant. So in your structure, in your operation and bylaw, Sharia compliance must be your utmost goal, and you must focus on it. Then we have the Maqasid goal, which implies that our Islamic cooperative must set out to achieve for their members the objective of Islamic law. What are these objectives? Religion, ad-din. You must be able to assist your member to preserve their deen. Our services must be the one tailored towards supporting our member to be able to realize their religious goal, religious duties. For this reason, our Islamic cooperative should be very much interested in packaging products for members that we assist them to achieve their dream of going on pilgrimage. So now, the Hajj Commission, they said they have Hajj savings and they are contracting with banks, Islamic banks, for members. Our cooperative can also effectively promote Hajj savings culture among our members. So in doing this, it will mean that we are assisting them to achieve their goal. Ramadan is just a few months away from us. May Allah spare our life to witness it. Our cooperative should be there for their members to support them during that period by having a kind of Ramadan saving. So that right from last year, your members will have been saving for Ramadan. It will not be that when Ramadan comes, they will not be overburdened by the expenses of the Ramadan because you already have a package for them. not just buying foodstuff and distributing to them on loan again. It should be that the cooperative will have a very good package that will assist members to be saving towards Ramadan. Likewise, the Eid al-Adha and all other religious financial commitment of members. So our cooperative should be able to pursue that. Then making life better for members. The question I always ask is that an Islamic cooperative that continue to keep its members within the circles of loans, that you take loan for 2 years. Within that loan that you have taken, so many things are going to suffer for it, including the family at home. Because whatever money you collect is only look good at the time you are collecting it. You collect a loan of 2 million, 3 million, you will be happy. Yes, you now have so much money. But forgetting that you are going to suffer for that 3 million in the next 2 years within which you are going to be paying. So how are we making life better for our members? By just making them to be collecting loan. That is against the goal of an Islamic cooperative. An Islamic cooperative must be the one that will make life better for members. Rather than giving loan, if you adopt financing for your member, because when you give loan, you give cash. And after giving the cash, the member is entitled to spend the money in whatever way he likes. In fact, some will take loan from your cooperative and use it to go and pay another loan. At the end of the day, the loan they collect from you does not bring any benefit to them. But if it is financing, you will know what item they want to buy, and which will be physical and beneficial to them. Then we have the goal of family, genealogy, and nasab. How do we ensure that our cooperative support members to preserve their family? For instance, if you have among your members those who are constrained to marry because of finance, you could have marriage savings package for them, so that right from even a parent can introduce his child to be saving for his own marriage right from secondary school, or even while he's still a baby. So by the time he will be grown up to marry, he will have funds available for him. So in that regard, we are promoting the goal of family genealogy. Likewise, among our members, if you have orphans, those whose father have died and their mother, who is a widow, is a member, how do we want to support our widow who are our members? So these are some of the goals that our cooperative should pursue, and actively doing things that will make all these goals to be realized by having a kind of empowerment scheme for our needy members. Likewise, intellect. Our cooperative must be designed to promote intellect. We have so many talented people who want to go to school, but they lack money. Or among our members, those who have first degree, they want to do masters. If they could be supported by the cooperative, they could do that. So you could have a kind of package for them. Likewise, every member during the September-October period is always very challenging, because everybody will have so much burden on them to pay school fees of children. So what is our cooperative doing to address all these problems for us? These are the goals that Islamic cooperatives should pursue. And that is why you must always have products that are designed for this purpose. So these are the things that we have to focus on. We need to move fast because we're actually running behind the time, although we had some time there that we lost at the beginning. So then the goal, the Makosif goal of property, we should assist our members to achieve property. So if our members, they are tenants, how do we want to assist them to also become house owners and all that? Then another goal of Islamic cooperative is Islamic finance goal. That Islamic cooperative must be enterprising and entrepreneurship. We must engage with our cooperative as a business. We are emphasizing this, that we want to generate income. We want to make wealth, not that we just want to be saving and keeping money. How do we make our fund to grow is part of the objective of Islamic cooperative. Then lastly, we have the halal goal. The halal goal implies that it is the responsibility of Islamic cooperative to purify consumptions of members and their earnings. People talk of halal earnings, halal consumption, but we don't talk of halal income and halal earnings. We must ensure that our members also engage, have halal consumption by ensuring that all our activities do not involve unethical practices. So these are the objectives and goals of Islamic cooperative. Now, let's now begin to address some of the issues. One of the issues that we have to pay attention to, where many Islamic cooperatives are failing, is the issue of Sharia compliance. So what is Sharia compliance that we talk about, which is even the fundamental principle of Islamic finance? The Islamic Sharia compliance means that all the activities of an Islamic cooperative must be in line with the principles of Sharia in terms of even your membership structuring, in terms of your operations, in terms of your structure, even in terms of your policy and decision making. They must be Sharia compliant. And that is why I came up with a proposition that every Sharia compliant cooperative is Islamic, but not every Islamic cooperative is Sharia compliant. I hope you got that clear. Every Sharia compliant cooperative is Islamic, because you cannot be Sharia compliant if you are not Islamic in the first place. But sadly, not every Islamic cooperative is Sharia compliant, because so many Islamic cooperatives believe that once they say they are not dealing with interest or in interest, they are Sharia compliant or they are Islamic. But beyond being Islamic, our cooperative must be Sharia compliant in our operation, in our services. And one of the aspects of Sharia compliance issue is this monthly administrative charges. Secondly, some cooperative charge penalty. For instance, they say if some members do not attend meetings, so they pay penalty. Now, that penalty, what service has the cooperative rendered to be entitled to that? In Islamic finance, they regard such as non-permissible earnings. You can charge penalty to serve as a kind of a deterrent, but when you serve penalty, because you don't have any underlying service or underlying asset transaction that is involved, so there's no justification. You cannot eat what you have not earned with your own sweat. So for that reason, such penalty, they are not meant to be income of the cooperative. But these are some of the money that some cooperatives use to run their affairs. That is not Sharia compliant. The monthly administrative charges has no basis in the Sharia. Is one of the most non-compliance common practices among our cooperative, because it's a matter, it's just like you cheating your members. You are exploiting them for no justifications. Because it's a business enterprise, you are supposed to run the business for them to generate income for them, and not for you to be milking them and asking you to be bringing money to, to run the affairs of the cooperative. Where's the justification for that? So it's a Sharia compliance issue. So we are now on the slide there, Sharia compliance. So you can please Sharia compliance. Go to the slide on Sharia compliance, where we say every Sharia compliant cooperative is Islamic, but not every Islamic cooperative is Sharia compliant. Yes. Okay. So let's, yes, this is where we have shareholding. So another issue which I'm going to address before we round up today, like I told you, the training will be a continuous slide. So tomorrow, inshallah, we are going to have more time and we come earlier. Please go back to the previous slide. Issues, practices in perspective. No, previous one. Go back. Please go back. After Sharia compliance, the next slide after it, please. Kindly go back. Okay, let me proceed. So another issue that we need to pay attention to are the issues in our practices in Islamic cooperative. The first one is the issue of shareholding structuring. Shareholding structuring. If you have any other person using a laptop who can assist or to share, please do that. If you need permission, you can request for it. Because this thing will be better if you can have that slide shown to you. Shareholding. Because of time, I will not be asking us, but I know that the practices among our cooperative, in terms of the procedure for becoming a member of a cooperative, is for you to take a form, pay for the registration form, and they say that the executive consider it, and if they agree, you become a member. I tell you that that is not legal, and it is not Sharia compliant. It is a wrong practice, which is against the law of the land, as well as against the principles of Sharia regulating the Islamic cooperative. How is this so? Each state of the federation in Nigeria has its own cooperative societies law. And in the cooperative societies law, the cooperative are divided into two in terms of registration. We have limited liability cooperative and unlimited liability cooperative. For those in the finance, we understand when we say an organization or institution is registered as limited liability, what does it imply? It implies that those who are members, who are subscribers to that organization, they have shares which they are subscribed to, stating that they are going to be responsible for the financial commitment of the organization if the organization has problems. Which means you cannot have a member of a cooperative who is not a shareholder, because where with that requirement of limited liability. I mean, having a liability committed to the cooperative, where will it arise? So cooperatives that are operating are not making shareholding compulsory for their member, they are violating the law. If any issue arises, let's say you transact with that member, and you now want to treat him as a member in a court of law, through a legal proceeding, a lawyer who is well informed will tell you that you cannot treat this person as your member because he was never your member. But you as a cooperative, you bring out the form he has signed saying that it's your member. But in the eyes of the law, it's not your member. Because anybody who does not have a shareholding with a cooperative is legally not your member. So that is in the area of the law that is being violated. Then in the Sharia, the foundation of an Islamic cooperative is musharaka. If you understand what musharaka means, it means partnership contract. The contract between members among themselves is that of musharaka. That is, all of us want to contribute money to do business together under the platform of a cooperative. So now, if a member is not subscribed to shares, then no contract exists between him and the cooperative and other members. Because without contribution, monetary contribution, the contract of musharaka in Islamic law cannot exist. So we need to look at the area of shareholding structuring. You don't make shareholding voluntary for your members. It's not Sharia compliant. So it must be mandatory. That is the issue that must be addressed. Shareholding for all members in an Islamic cooperative must be mandatory, not voluntary. Then we have talked of the charges. It's also another practice. Admin or constant service. It is not Sharia compliant because you don't ask your shareholders to still be contributing money to run the business which you are tasked to operate for them and generate income. So they have subscribed. If you need more money, you ask for more shares to be subscribed to, then you must have different means of services. Different services of engagement through which you generate income. Not that you now make your members to be responsible, to be financing the running of the affairs of the cooperative. It is not financially right. Financial wise, it is not right. Legally, it is wrong because they are your shareholders. And there's no law allowing a company, after the shareholders have subscribed to their share, whether it's a paid share or deferred share. But in case of the cooperative, it will be a paid share because the money you want to generate is what you are going to use to run the affairs of the cooperative. So it is for the cooperative to look at its trading and a transaction and ensure that it's generating income to run the affairs and not for the members to be what? To be made to be contributing. Now, people have now been asking me that, okay, now members, we are already used to this, and it will be difficult for us to say that, okay, tomorrow members don't contribute administrative charges again. So what is the solution? Well, I will say the solution is that you can now request for the members that monthly administrative charges that they paid in the form of administrative charges, let them now review it and make it as a kind of donation to the cooperative, that we agree to be donating this also amount to the cooperative every month. Then it can be a good handle for the cooperative instead of saying it's administrative charges. So if they so choose, but you cannot make it mandatory because you don't make a gift mandatory for somebody who want to give you something. If you make it mandatory, it means you are taking undue advantage of them. So if any member now chooses to say, okay, I want to continue donating to the cooperative, that's well and good, but not that it must be compulsory for them. So we provide a solution to that. Then another issue in the practice is the loan services. Our cooperative should not be focused as a loan platform. It is not all this loan platform, OPay, PAM Pay, all those things. No, our cooperative is not like that. It should be an enterprise, a business. Then people will ask that, okay, if you are not giving loan, what is the alternative to loan, the solution? Some people will even say that if we say we are not giving loan, all members will withdraw. So the cooperative will not have members again, because people believe that the only primary reason why they join a cooperative is because they will have access to loan. There is alternative to loan, and that is financing. I always like to give a good demonstration of how financing and loan, how they look similar but different, and it can be a good alternative to loan. Now we have member A who needs 5 million naira, right? And we have another member who wants to buy a car worth 5 million naira. Now, for the member A, you give him that 5 million. Because it's a loan, it has to be cash. You transfer to his account. After you have transferred to the account, you don't have any control over him. The only thing remaining is for you to be expecting him to be paying his what? To be paying his loan. If it is not an organized cooperative where they will deduct from the source, the most likely thing is that it's going to default in payment. If it is 24 months, it may be a good payer, loan payer for 6 months. After 6 months, problem will arise. It will be telling you that we are no longer able to eat at home because of this loan. I'm having health problem. I'm having this. Then issues will arise. That loan is likely to have problem for the beneficiary as well as the cooperative. Again, loan is a burden on an individual. Is a burden on an individual. When you give loan, you are not actually assisting that member, but you are contributing to his health problem, to his making life more difficult for him. Because for the rest of the time, when he's going to be paying that loan, he's not going to have a good mind, so to say, because all the time you'll be worried about paying this loan, this and that. That is another thing. But now let's consider the other person that you do financing for. You buy a car and you sell to that member. One, when that member takes that car home, his families are going to be very happy. So for whatever reason that he needs that car for, he's going to be meeting that need, which is most likely to be something that will be bringing more better life to him and his family. Then, in paying that loan, he will be paying it with pleasure because he will know that this is what I'm paying for. The other member that you advance loan to, even before he leaves your place, immediately he receives the loan. The money may finish the same 1 week. Maybe he has one loan to settle, or he will say, this is an advantage, let me settle this loan. Oh, my sister who has been asking me for money all this while, and thinking that I'm not a responsible person, let me send 100,000 to him. My brother's cousin, who is this and that. So at the end of the day, he will have nothing tangible to show for the money because he has the control of that money as a loan. But the person you finance the car for, one, he knows that the car, there will be some kind of collateral attached to it. He cannot just do anyhow with the car. And he has the responsibility to ensure that everything is intact. And even the family, the wife himself, herself at home, will be encouraging him. Oh, our daddy, how far with the loan? I hope you are paying it so that this car, we will know that it has become our own completely. But for the other loan, he may not even inform his family at home that he collected any loan. So if he has a wife that he wants to marry, so that will be an opportunity for him to even go and spend the money to bring another wife home to the wife. So in that regard, as the cooperative actually assisted it. So rather than we focusing on loan, let's change the mentality of our cooperative. And it's a matter of educating our members. When members understand, they know that financing is to their own advantage. Another thing is that the financing you are doing, you are going to make profit from what you sell to members. And that same income will also again go to the members as part of the dividend. So you are using members to generate income. The income will also go back to them. And that is far better than loan services. More so, we are violating the principles of Sharia about loan. Loan is not meant to be something that will be transactional. Loan is meant to be a kind of a kind of support. So you have to be at the point of need. We have members of some cooperative that they don't need the loan they want to collect from the cooperative for anything, but simply because they see it as their own right and entitlement, they will collect the loan, take the money, and even go and keep it in the bank. So we need to change this focus. Then another issue that we'll address before we stop today is bonuses and incentives. Bonuses and incentives. When your member patronize your businesses, do you have the right? Is it Sharia compliant for you to give them incentives? For instance, if you say any member that patronized the business of the cooperative for 5 times within the financial year is going to receive a special gift. You can do that because it's a way to promote the business of the cooperative and also to make those passive members to realize what they are missing by not patronizing the business of the cooperative. Then we also talk of the penalty and fines. Penalty and fines. I have mentioned this. Whatever penalty that you charge your member is not part of the lawful income of the cooperative. Mind you, because there is no underlying service or asset justifying any that income. So in Islamic finance, it is called non-permissible earnings, and such income must not be used for the activities of the cooperative, but rather you give it out as charity, not sadaqah. Just a giveaway, like you want to throw money away because it's not a lawful earning for you. So on this note, we'll stop here, and tomorrow, inshallah, we are going to continue earlier from this slide. I hope and pray that we'll be able to share the slide. So we can now ask questions and make contributions before we round up for today. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khaira.
So please raise up your hand. Okay. Let's start with please, somebody who is
somebody
Mr. Tune, please. Kindly open your video.
Somebody's line is echoing. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much, lecturer. My name is Engineer Tunde Hussein. I'm from Bashari, Ibadan, 409 Trade Street.
I think Mr. Tunde, Engineer Tunde,
yes.
is saying you open two systems.
No. I've dropped it. I've logged out from the second system since. It's not from my side.
Okay, please, if you can open your video, that will be appreciated.
I'm not in a place where I didn't plan for it, so sorry about that.
Go ahead, please.
So my question is on the monthly administrative charge, and I understand the point. I mean, the view that you have taken. I want to ask explicitly: is it that it is not Sharia compliant? Because presently we charge our members monthly administrative charge. The charge is small. But then, as you have said, we should be focusing more on doing business and be covering that cost instead of asking them for that administrative charge. So if it is not Sharia compliant, then we will have to stop it. So that is my question, sir.
Okay, thank you. So in a straightforward answer, it is not Sharia compliant. And I've given you clear reason for this, because you cannot use any income which does not have underlying assets that you have transacted with to generate that income or underlying service. And also, your members are shareholders. If you understand that shareholders don't pay to run the business of the institution they subscribe to, you will see that that charges, even from the financial perspective, is not justified. So it's not Sharia compliant. It's a way of exploiting. It's a wrong structuring that we met when Islamic Cooperative started. And that is part of the thing that makes Islamic Cooperative not to operate properly as a business. So the advice is that you do away with it so that all members, it will also give them a sense of business, that their cooperative is a business enterprise. When they are contributing, they continue to feel that the cooperative is a charity organization and an helpless institution that needs to be supported. And that should not be the case. Wallahu alam. Now, Sister Tawakkalt Olaguju, please unmute yourself.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum for the lecture. Yeah, my question is number one. I joined some cooperative, and there is one cooperative that I joined recently, maybe like about 6 months ago. I want to say at least because I was actually looking for finance, and that was why I joined the cooperative, not really loan per se. But I found out that after contributing like almost 6 months, when we had a general meeting, and the president was like, the focus of the cooperative was actually on the social part that you said, that so that we can, people that cannot go to the bank, Islamic bank, to access funds, we can give them maybe double their savings so that they can assist their business. So I was asking, like, do you think, like what I know under Islamic finance is that your money you don't just hold on to money. That all these while that we have been contributing, you just kept the money in the bank, that the investments committee or subcommittee, they've not done anything about the money. And I was just feeling like, is it not better for me to probably put my money in an investment, maybe something, I will have something back, as in something from it, rather than contributing to the cooperative with the intent that, oh, I will be able to have finance and equipment. And the cooperative just left the money in the account, saying the purpose of the cooperative is actually to support people that want to borrow ×2 of their money. And I think this is more of social than economic, the way you have said it. So is it better that if you think this does not align to you, I said you should do business now. Money should not be lying there. Even if this is 1 naira, 2 naira, you can have it. So can somebody just decide, oh, I don't think this one is going to pay me in that regard? Then pertaining to the admin charge, is it possible when this kind of cooperative that is not even doing, they are not engaging in business, and they ask you to pay the admin charge because they need an admin officer, that the charges is actually to pay the person, that the admin officer that will be working in the cooperative? Is that acceptable under Sharia?
Yeah, that is what they should do. But I don't know whether there is, when people subscribe to their share, so they now ask them to come and be paying admin charges so that those they employ, they will be able to pay their salary. That is not the way it should be done. So such a cooperative will need the proper enlightenment. So you can bring this training to their attention, so that if they have the opportunity, their stakeholders have the opportunity to attend the training, they will be better informed. So that is what we are saying, that things must change, our orientation must change, because if our cooperatives, as many of them that we have, operate better, we should have a better way of income, wealth creation and circulation among the Muslim society. So thank you. M. Mohibi, you can please unmute yourself.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah. Thanks, Islam, for the Jazakumullah khairan for the presentation. It's a great, very great one.
Thank you.
However, my areas to touch, there are two areas. You touch the area of that admin and the area of the loan/financing. You know, you mentioned something that in the corporate world that you do shareholders come and be paying the company something for them to run the business, all those things. You are correct. However, they pay indirectly. And you know, when we have a structure of a business structure, the business structure in terms of the income line is different, especially when a business is just coming up. I agree 100% with you that Islamic cooperative should be run like enterprise, like a profit-making enterprise, and use it to help the members. Now, on the corporate world, you know, shareholders, as you said, but it's my own area, actually. You know, shareholders, in this case, in the one that you mentioned, they are into what we call it a closed system. A closed system. This one is a cooperative is an open system compared to a closed system of, for example, if you buy shares of any bank, you have bought the shares. You can only transfer it to another person. You cannot come and be coming out, come out those things. The shares of that company still remain the same. Even when you are selling it, you are only selling it to another person. But the share capital of that company still remains the same. Now, those people that transact or buy shares, they normally pay for operations of registration fee and the rest of administration, pay Nigeria Stock Exchange, pay registrars and the rest. That's one part. That cost is there. Now, the services, there is an organization that exists in managing the registrar of members. That organization is called registrar company. They collect money. But that money, company pay it and take it from the income on behalf of the shareholders. Yeah. They pay it to the registrar company. The registrar, when they want to do all those things. But in this case, cooperative, in a way, people in the cooperative are still providing that registrar services to the members. And you know, in the cooperative, because which is different from the normal business, the money to trade in normal business comes from the clients, majorly from the clients. The share capital of the company can only be like maybe 10%, 20%. But for the cooperative, the money to trade comes from the members. And that means members may be paying several times. That means the registrar book, as well as the money for trading, are being more work on compared to other businesses that the money is just from the clients. In this case now, not telling them that, oh, I provide registrar services, I provide administration in terms of people taking the money every day too. Unlike normal company, that there won't be such money paying every month, all those things, all those administrations are what they are saying as a recovery of that amount to be incurred. And as you said, somebody can say, as you said, why can't you structure it and do like a business and take it from the profit of the business? But those expenses will not wait for us until we make profit. And as an Islamic entity can be a profit or loss, then those money will not wait. That means we must pay for this application, software application we are using, must pay for the internet, we pay for the everything, register of members, all those things. We must pay all those things out. And if somebody is not paying, that means it cannot grow up. Then if it specifically Because when the engineer they asked the question, he specifically such a small amount of money telling the members to pay, we they consented to pay. Can we say that that's an haram? That's my question as Gaza. Then I said again, justifying with such services I've mentioned. That's second one. On the loan / financing, I 100% agree that financing being the best or better in the sense that in a way you are even find it, in a way it's more secured than say you just give somebody money and the money you can use it for anything. However, there are some transactions that members will need as a help that they cannot do more than give the money to them. For example, the man that you mentioned that just has a wife, even before he can ask the man to marry the second one, he must pay rent. If you want to pay rent, but in his office, they normally pay him in his salary. Part of the salary maybe rent allowance monthly. But landlord will not collect monthly. He need a bulk money to pay for 2 years of a rent. Then such a person will actually need a loan. That my own opinion is combining that loan and financing together. That's my own opinion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. This is very interesting issues you have raised. Two things. I will provide some brief response to all the points you have raised. And again, I would have loved that by the time we conclude this training, you will see that all of the issues that you raised have been better clarified. We are actually still at the introductory stage. Now, on the issue of what do we call it? The issue that you raised concerning the need for that administrative charges, because when the cooperative is starting, they have to run expenses and all that. We are going to see that when a cooperative wants to start, and one thing I do say is that, alhamdulillah, whatever I'm saying today now, and my team, we are not just here sharing theory with you. We are sharing what we have practical experience of. Our cooperative, Tawakkul Cooperative, we don't charge administrative charges since we started the business. And we have not have any cost to even be bothered about saying that we don't have funds to run the affairs of the cooperative. One, there are some things that you have to do to reduce costs. Part of it is when you run online, it makes your cost to be less. These are some of the things we are going to talk about, because cost management itself is also part of the thing. A cooperative that is starting, that they are just starting, and you say you want to go and take a big whatever, you want to employ this also number of staff, whatever. No. Even the internet or the inevitable expenses, how do you get there? When you want to start a cooperative, you will first raise funds through the share subscription. No member will be a member without joining as shares. And you know where the problem lies is that our people, even those who say that members have shares, imagine at this age, a cooperative saying 1 share is 5 kobo. So you will see a member, when you ask him, how many shares do you have in your cooperative? He will be telling you, I have 5,000 shares. And that 5,000 shares, when you calculate it, maybe it's just 5,000 naira. Is that a way of running a business? Because we don't have business orientation. In our cooperative, right from 2020 that we started, our shares has been 1,000 naira per share. And every member will have to subscribe to at least 2 shares, which is 2,000 naira. Now, at this age now, if you are just starting or you want to restructure your cooperative and you really want to generate income, what will you do? you make sure that the value of your share is very, very much. If a cooperative is starting at 1,000 naira per share, for instance, and you said every member minimum of 2 shares, 20,000 naira. By the time you have 50 shares, 50 members, with some members taking 10 shares, which is 100,000 naira, then 20 shares, 200,000 naira, and all that. You are going to have money that you will start the business, and you are going into the business. You go into the business, and you will ensure that you want to generate income. Part of your expenses will be catered for from the share capital. When we get to the aspect of the fund of the cooperative, you are going to see that a cooperative needs no these administrative charges. In fact, my own projection for our cooperative is for us to get to a state when cooperative will be better and competing with our Islamic finance. Only that they still need better regulation at the governmental level. Then we also need better understanding for people to know. I'm telling you, I have a cooperative that trained under us. Right now, initially, they made their shares voluntary. Members, then just 1 kobo, 5 kobo. But they restructured their cooperative and raised the value of their share to, I think, 100,000 naira. And within short period after enlightening their members, they understand the reality. So members subscribe, they raise 400 million, not 4 million, 400 million naira. A cooperative raising 400 million naira. Now they have a project they are working on, a big estate, which they are bidding, targeting to end by next year, August, which they are going to sell, and the income they generate will come back to the members. So I don't have any conviction for any reason for our cooperative to say that administrative charges is justifiable. It's because we are treating our cooperative like something that does not have seriousness. So that is about that. Then on the issue of shares, I think you made mention of open system and closed system. Maybe I didn't check that. But when we get to the other slide, we still have a lot to cover. So that at the end of this training, you will see that our cooperative has potential. Only that we need to do the needful. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah khair. Mr. Lukman Omotosho, please unmute yourself.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Okay. Maybe I will just probably reserve my questions or comments at the end of the program. But some of the things I want to clarify, especially these administrative charges and the issue, I think the two brothers that spoke before me, they have discussed that at length with you. But something I'm getting, if I'm wrong, please kindly correct me. I think your position on the administrative charge is not that it is totally haram, but what you are saying is that it has to be based on the services that is being rendering to the corporators. So if there are services that are being rendering, whatever name that is being called, definitely that service needs to be financed one way or the other. And from your explanation now, for your own cooperative and other ones that you have coached, I think what you have recommended, and it has worked based on what you have said now, is that financing should be coming from the initial revenue being generated from the shareholding of the corporators, since we agree everybody must have a share to be a cooperator. So am I in line with your thoughts? Yes, in that case?
You are in line. Let's just wait. You know,
okay, thank you.
This slide is about 50 slides. We are just on the whatever. So usually,
thank you so much.
Yeah. This training, we usually run it on 3 weekends because of the cost. If you ask people to pay like 150,000 naira to run the training for that long, people will not be able to meet up. So that's why we just have to manage whatever time we have. Otherwise, if you had gotten enough time to have that training at a stress where you have full time to really expatiate, there is no way. I'm always confident that anybody that attends this meeting would rather go back to his cooperative if it's a stakeholder and begin to tell them that we have to buckle up and review what we are doing. So may Allah assist us. Sister Rodia, please, let's make it snappy.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. I have two questions here. With regards to money commodity, you were mentioning that maybe something wrong with money commodity. I want to clarify that if you are working in relation, like you are running a cooperative and there's another cooperative doing like direct with market women, that's what they are known for. So would it be term money commodity if cooperative like ours that don't have time to do some of all these micro businesses invest in such ascertained ventures? So let's say just like our in this group, and we realize some of the cooperative here, you have bulk money, but you don't have that time to be going to the market, buy things, sell it and follow the adab of Islamic finance, and you'd invest. Maybe it's the 10 million you have given to this cooperative. You have clarified that they are using the fund for a murabaha, a micro murabaha. Every month, they share the profit, and you are informed of your profits. You can tell them, okay, reinvest it back. No, I'm just trying to clarify that with the definition of money commodity. That's
Okay.
number one. Then number two, I don't want to still blow up the issue of admin charges, because I know I've been running like 5 cooperative. We do admin charges per annum. And let me clarify, we also have our shareholding, which is a multiple share. And we agree, like there's a particular cooperative now that I know we just started, although some that have started like 15 years ago. So if you have like shareholdings, multiple of 500,000 per share, and then you are trying to build a 1 billion capital base, but in the beginning, you are trying to encourage people to be part, you are doing a lot of marketing, you are doing your registrations, you are doing everything. You use the joining fees to do that, meaning that if you pay joining fees, you get your, you get the documentation done by the promoters. Then the admin fees charged per annum has its own accounting too, which is not used for the investment purpose. The shareholding people are paying are the ones now that is used like for the long-term, short-term, and medium-term investment. But the admin fees paid annually is kept for the administrative purpose of the cooperative. That also accountability is given annually during the AGM, which is also documented in the AGM report. The excess over the admin fees from members' mutually agreements, a souvenir is gotten and distributed on AGM days for all members. But admin fees charged annually, so that in case a member wants to even transfer their shares to somebody else to continue, they know that the joining fees and admin fees that are paid annually is part of something they don't get back, because that has already been exhausted for services like some of the sister mentioned, to pay the admin officer, to build the website and stuff like that.
Thank you. The point is clear. Let's get this right. I made a point. Whatever income that will come to the cooperative, ask yourself, what is the service that the cooperative has rendered?
We do like
what item is being transacted? Now, if you say because of administrative, the service we are talking about should be service that will be based on individual member. You cannot generalize that you are rendering services to every member. I give a practical example. I traveled to Malaysia for my PhD in the year 2015. I was a member of one cooperative. As at that time, before I traveled, I had like still good money then, like 35,000 naira in my savings. Within the 3 years that I was away, By the time I came back, they were telling me that for the monthly whatever, that money has been exhausted. So during my absence, which service did they render to me as a member? Just because the cooperative continue to operate, does it now make it to be that I have a responsibility to sustain that operation of the cooperative? I felt so cheated because I did not see any justification for the deduction of my money for not rendering me any service whatsoever. That is what we are saying. You may not know the implication because you have members who are still active. They seem to be accessing your services. What about if you have a member that is away and you continue to deduct that from his money? What is the justification? So whatever money you want to charge member, you should have a particular service that you render to them that justify that fund. I give you another example in our cooperative. We structure our savings in different packages. And we are coming to this also, another very bad practice which has affected our cooperative is the fact that you say members cannot withdraw their savings. That is contrary to the international standard practice. You say a member cannot withdraw his own savings except he collects it as a loan. It's part of the wrong structuring that we need to address. So now in our own cooperative, members can withdraw their savings. But we make them to understand that in the course of processing the savings you want to withdraw, we will have to prepare the banking, whatever their charges. We have the person that we may send to bank, or even if you are going to make the payment online, we will use internet. We will do this, we will do that. And we calculate that, okay, all these expenses, no matter the amount of money you are withdrawing, what is likely to be the highest? And everybody agree. When you are withdrawing your savings, you will pay this also amount of money. That is a service. And from the money they pay 500 naira. From the money, bank deduction, all the expenses that goes into processing is saving will be catered for. And whatever amount that remains, we now go to the purse of the cooperative as part of our income. That is what we are saying. You must have underlying service that you render. If you don't have underlying service, it means it amounts to what is called a non-permissible earning. And it is not for the cooperative to be spending such an amount of money. It's like you taking something that is not pure and mixing it with the pure income. So it's not allowed to do that. So there is no way with it. I know in each of our training, this is one of the things that always generates concerns and which people don't find easy to tell them that their administrative charges is not Sharia compliant, because virtually every cooperative does this. But from the analysis I've made and what is available at our disposal, based on the research we have done, scholars say such is not Sharia compliant. And that's why we have said your cooperative may be Islamic cooperative, but still not Sharia compliant. But you have a responsibility to be Sharia compliant. You cannot just be wearing the cloth of Islamic cooperative while you are not ready to be Sharia compliant. So thank you. Brother Kennedy, please, let's make it snappy. We have 10 minutes left to round up. Please unmute yourself. Okay, if you cannot unmute. So let's hear from Brother Taiwo Lukman. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, Jazakumullah khairan. We thank you for the lecture. I actually have quite a number of questions. I think I will suspend it because of the time. But there's a particular areas that you have said, which I want to more or less raise one or two concerns about. And that is the area of loan. We are trying to justify the reason why financing an asset is better than taking a loan. So I just want to make one or two comments on that. Well, I think, in my own opinion anyway, I think it's all depend on what the loan is meant for. There's some loan I can decide to take in as much as I want to use that loan to eventually generate further income for me as a person. So I think in that case, that what I've used the loan to do can even bring income that can be used to pay back the loan. I think in that case, I think that is a good loan to me. So financing an asset is another thing entirely. So that's just a comment. Let me just raise one question. I can suspend others.
Yeah,
so
okay. No.
A question I want to raise, I want to bring in a perception of our own case.
No, let's leave the case studies till when we get to that. We have a session where we are going to take
our
case studies for
is over 10 years.
Hello? Let's leave the case study for now. When
Are you with me, sir?
When we get to that.
I'm on.
Let's
Can I continue?
Leave the case study of what is particular to you for now, please. So now let me quickly address that.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
And I think I now remember that the other brother also talked about taking loan to rent an apartment, that a member who needs to pay rent, so taking loan. One of the things I, as a cooperative advocate, is that I'm not just concerned about the interests of the members. I'm also concerned about the interests of the cooperative, because the cooperative also has responsibility to generate income. It's not a charity organization. Anything that member needs, as long as the cooperative can finance it. For instance, that rent you talk about, there is a product that can be used to finance it. The member who needs the money to pay rent will benefit, and the cooperative also will benefit. So it's part of the orientation we have to change, that members should no longer be selfish. They should not be focused on their own, that the benefit that will come to them from the cooperative, but the cooperative as an entity itself also need to benefit from the members. Even though at the end of the day, whatever benefit that comes to the cooperative will still go back to the members. And that is why loan does not bring any benefit to the cooperative. And as a business enterprise, which cooperative should be, that will not be the best in the interest. So I believe that those who are attending this training, they are not just attending because of a member. If you are attending, seeing yourself just as a member, that is when you'll be focusing on members' interests. No, we are talking of how the cooperative itself will be a sustained institution. The income will come to the cooperative as well as members also benefiting. Exploring loan is not going to benefit the cooperative, rather financing. And if you are a cooperative manager, you will know that you have to also be concerned about the interests of the cooperative, not just members. Members are always selfish. They only focus on what will benefit them. But you, as a cooperative manager, you must design products that will ensure that members benefit and the benefit also come to the cooperative. So I don't know of any need of any member that cannot be catered through financing, where both members would benefit. Like somebody has said, it should be a win-win situation, not that members just focusing and just get concerned about their own interest. So, like for the rent, we can use Ijara. We have done that in our own cooperative. When members need a house, then the cooperative will use Ijara to get it for them. Not necessarily that you give money to them to go and pay rent. The cooperative take the rent and give it as, to the members to benefit. Likewise, the issue of you saying you have a business where you are generating income. Why can't you do it as financing? Maybe the cooperative should to partner with you on the basis of Mudoraba or Musharaka, so that as you also use the money of the cooperative to generate that income, you benefit and the cooperative will also benefit. So we should get to know that our focus here is not just about the interest of the members. We are talking of you now being trained as a cooperative manager. You know you have responsibility towards the cooperative as well as the members, and not just to the members alone. So I think with this we can try to round up. I don't know if the vice president is still present so that he can give his closing remark, and tomorrow, inshallah, we are going to continue. Is the vice president there? I think he did not have a good network. So now let me call, can we have somebody to give a general remarks? And okay, the VP is still here. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
We thank Allah for giving us this opportunity, and it is hoped that as a starting point of this training, each and every one of us has been able to gain one or two things, especially those who are in the business of cooperative that does not cater for the association itself, but for the members. So we've been able to get something because it is known that the cooperative is an entity itself which must benefit from the transactions that we do in it. So, and it is hope that the subsequent modules that will be discussed on this platform during this training will be an one to open the eyes of the participants.
Okay, even though your network was not too inshallah, we'll be rounding up. Let's recite Surah Al-Asr, and we will request that we open our video to have a snapshot of the participant. We always love to keep the snapshots here. So let's recite Wal Asr. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal Asr. Inna al-insana lafi khusr. Illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihat. Wa tawasaw bil haqqi. Wa tawasaw bis sabr. Subhanak Allahumma bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa natubu ilayk. Please, let's open our video. We want to have some snapshots here. Still going. So we hope we can capture as many as possible.
Has the picture been taken?
We are taking it. So you just open your video because we have different segments to take. Please still open your video because we are taking it step by step. So we are still taking, please, because as I'm taking, I'm saving. Yeah. Okay. So thank you very much. Jazakumullah khairan. So see you tomorrow, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.